All right, guys. I told you guys I got a treat for you guys today. All right. So, first question I would like to ask: do you hate your parents? Do you got a problem with your parents? Like, do you have some type of animosity, hostility, bitterness, or resentment towards your parents? This video is for you. I want to tell you exactly what God's word and what God wants us to do with parents that are crap, with parents that suck, or with parents that we don't agree with, that we can't get along with. I keep on going. So, yeah, so I told you guys we're doing something new here on my YouTube channel, Uplift past Crossroads, right? Well, it's not just my YouTube channel. It's many people going live now and doing videos here at Uplift past Crossroads. And if you're one of those people, thanks so much for your support. So, our YouTube channel, Uplift past Crossroads, is growing. So you can join our tribe by subscribing to our channel. And then after you subscribe, make sure to click the bell so you're notified anytime we upload another video, right? All right. And so, yeah, man. So I told you guys and I'm streaming. So this is a pre-recorded video also, so you'll see this video on Thursday around 7 p.m. probably, maybe Friday at 7 p.m. All right. So yeah, this is our 548th video now here at Upward Past Crossroads. All right, but let's get to it. So I told you guys I'm gonna start pre-recording videos and uploading and scheduling videos hopefully every single day for you guys to watch and tune into. And I told you guys I'm going to share way more of my Facebook statuses and tweets that I post every single day, because I post 4 quotes or Bible verses on every one of my social media platforms every single day, on YouTube, my Twitter, my it used to be my Instagram page, but I gave it up. I given up on Instagram, but I'll start bringing it back. But here go my social media platforms. But anyways, I've been posting a whole lot of things. Like, here goes stuff I've been posting about. And when I post, I'll be posting like stuff. I'll be going on tangents on this one subject when I post, and just keep on talking about that one subject. So here goes some stuff I tweeted. I tweeted like on March 10th, 2025 at 9:41 a.m. I said, if you truly loved God, you would have honored him in any situation. Then I said on March 9th, 2025, when our relationships are guided by the gospel, we submit to one another as a way of serving God. And so I'll stop there. So when it comes to our relationships when it comes to relationships in life, you're going to be in a relationship with a lot of people. So a lot of times when we say the word relationship, we just think about marriage and dating and stuff like that, like a man and a woman. But it's bigger than that. Your relationship with your parents is a relationship. Your relationship with your siblings is a relationship. Your relationship with your friends, your coworkers, that's a relationship. So God can be found in our relationships. But if we don't approach those situations and those relationships with respect and honor with who God has placed in front of us, showing and revealing his love to them through us. Like, if we don't ever humble ourselves to and submit ourselves to operating like that, we'll never experience God, and the people around us will never experience God either. So God's love can be experienced in any type of relationship that there is, right? With our friends, with our coworkers, with our parents, with our siblings, whoever we come across, a stranger. But and those relationships are important to God. But I would argue your relationship with your parents is really important to God, right? And so I posted this status on my Facebook page on March 6th, and it's also a tweet as well. I mean, like I said, I posted on my LinkedIn, my YouTube, I posted it everywhere. But this is what I posted. I said, your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you. I'll say it again, your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you. And I had one of my classmates, well, he was a year older than me, so he graduated in 2010. I graduated in 2011, but this is the star basketball player at Mount Juliet High School, man. He's somebody I used to play basketball with a lot, and he was our star basketball player at Mount Juliet. And so his name is Terrence Clemens, man. And so this is what he looks like. He's 33 now. He played basketball at Jackson State. And like I said, he went to Mount Juliet High School with me. Yeah, and that's him right there, right? These are all photos of him. But he commented on that status, and this was the greatest comment ever. And I liked how he said, threw me an alley-oop, so to lead me to doing this video, right? And his comment was amazing. So I said, your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you, right? That's the post. And he said, nah, this ain't it. This sounds like somebody who had both parents. And that's the whole point, right? Like, I'm gonna ask you guys a question, right? So you guys saw the post, right? Your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you, right? Do you agree with that or not? And so, Terry said, no, he doesn't agree with that. It sounds like somebody who had both parents. So obviously, like, you want to honor your parents, but what if you don't have amazing parents? What if your parents suck? Like, why should my actions reflect how much they mean to me when they haven't mean any, when they don't mean anything to me? See, let's go there. So I'm gonna ask you a question. So the Facebook status was, because I can't share it on the screen like I won't, like, but I have to keep on posting the photo so you guys see it. But your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you, right? So here goes the question: if you don't agree with that statement that I posted, all right. So should our relationship with our parents be guided by them or be guided by God? And then here goes another question. Same question basically, but twisted in a different way. Are your relationships guided by God, or are they guided by someone or something else? So are your relationships guided by, you know, how somebody has treated you and what somebody has done for you? Or are your relationships guided by, you operating in God's love, you being guided by God's love, and you showing people love no matter how they treat you? So which way does God want you to treat people, right? So yeah, you guys see this question, but let me show this one too. So, should our relationship with our parents be guided by them or by God? And so, like, Terry said, which is a great comment, man. Like, because some people don't have good parents like me, so I get it. So your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you. That's the post, right? I posted that on March 6th at 9:37 a.m. in 2025, obviously. So yeah, Terry said, nah, that ain't it. That sounds like somebody who has both parents. You're right, man. Like, some people's parents suck. Some people's parents ain't worth a hill of beans. Some people's parents have never been there for them, and they were raised by other people. Or some people, it's sad, but I know there's got to be some people who hasn't really had anybody. They don't have a community like that, so they don't have no guardians. Grew up in an orphanage, so like they never really had like a family unit. And I get it, man. So like everybody was raised differently, but there's a reason why the fifth commandment says, love your father. I mean, honor your father and mother, for your days on the earth will be long. Like, that's the fifth commandment. It'd be different if it was the 10th commandment, but it's the fifth one, right? Like, it's important, right? It really goes with the second commandment to me, right? So you got the first commandment that says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul. This is the first and the greatest commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the laws and the prophets, right? So if we love God, we will automatically love who's around us. But especially our parents, like, it'd be different if our parents were just some people upon the earth that was just on the earth. Like, but no, like, you are from your parents. Your parents, God used your parents to make you into who you are. That means something. That don't mean nothing no matter how you want to slice it. Like, God literally chose your parents to be your parents. God literally ordained your parents to make you into who you are today. Like, you can't tell me you don't have no type of resemblance towards your parents. Like, because like the way, when a sperm and egg come together, the way it does things, like, I mean, you're gonna resemble some things when it comes to your parents. Like, it could be their habits, their tendencies, like their dislikes, their likes. It could be your looks. Like, in some kind of way, you will resemble your parents. It's crazy, like how deep, like, our DNA is rooted, you know, and tailored towards where we come from, like our parents, our ancestors. I can keep on going, like, so, like, yeah, man, like the fifth commandment, like, it's literally in Exodus 20:12. Let me read it just in case somebody don't believe me. Like, Exodus 20:12, the King James Version Bible reads, honor thy mother and thy father, that thou days may be long upon the land which the Lord giveth thee. Like, God has given you a life, and God has he's giving you a place in this universe. Like, so your life is in his hands. And it's in his hands based on this verse. Like, literally, like, do you honor your mother and father? Because let me show you what happens if you don't honor your mother and father, right? Like, I already did videos on this. So if you go to my YouTube channel, Uplift past Crossroads, you guys know this ain't our first rodeo. This is our 548 videos. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Uplift past Crossroads, for way more videos, right? And then so this video goes with our series on honor your father and mother. So what else did I title it? So honor your parents, you guys get it. You know, respect authority, honor others. So yeah, check out that playlist for way more. But like I just did a video. When did I do that? 5 days ago. And this video I titled "Your Future is Based Upon How You Treat Your Parents," and I used Proverbs 20:20 as an example. So I make sure to put that in the description of the video. But yeah, let's talk about Proverbs 20:20 real quick. So I always, my favorite book in the Bible is probably the book of Proverbs. Is so powerful. So Proverbs is a general statement made about life, and from those general statements, there are lessons and conclusions about how life operates. You know, observations about what life is all about and how God orchestrated it. So if we, apply those lessons into our lives and really heed that wisdom from God's word, right? These proverbs, then we'll be prosperous and successful in everything we do in life. So that's what a proverb is. So look at Proverbs 20:20. It says, "Whosoever curseth his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness." That's the King James Version. You probably don't get that one. Let's keep on going. The New International Version reads, "If someone curses their father or mother, their lamp will be snuffed out in pitch darkness." You look at other versions like the ESV, it says, "His lamp will be put out in utter darkness. His lamp will be extinguished in the deepest darkness," in the Berean Standard Bible, right? Your light will be snuffed out in total darkness. Proverbs 20:20. You guys get it? See, when I first read it, I had to do some studying and digging on what that proverb means. And it's basically just saying, like, if you insult, if you curse, if you don't respect, if you neglect, if you don't care for your parents, man, like that's saying a lot about you. Like, because how you do everything in the horizontal, how you do everything in the horizontal in this world shows and reveals where you are at in the faith. Right? We walk by faith, we don't walk by sight. So yeah, let me go ahead and go there. And now I'll come back to Proverbs 20:20, right? We walk by faith and we don't walk by sight. Like so many people think that they can have faith in God, they can love God. Yeah, and they just leave it at that. Like, I love God and I serve him, but your actions speak louder than your words. And you want to know what actions really tell if you love God or not? If you honor your parents, if you respect your parents, if you cherish your parents, if you value your parents, if you appreciate. I keep on going. Like, what do you do with your parents? Because whatever you do with your parents, that's what you're doing with God, right? We walk by faith and we don't walk by sight, right? So in saying that's so powerful, right? How can you say you believe in God but you don't even love your neighbor? Like, how can you say you love God but you don't even love who you see, your neighbor, right? Because if the love of God was truly in you, so that's in First John somewhere. Like, if the love of God was truly in you, then you would love who's around you. Love will ooze out of you. Love, you will operate from a place of love. So no matter if your mother, your father, or your co-workers or your enemies, like no matter what people on earth do to you, if God loves you, you'll appreciate and cherish everything around you. Like, are some people hard to love? Of course. Are some people hard to get along with? Of course. But these aren't just people, these are your parents. Are you kidding me? Your mother and father. Like, some people's parents suck. I get it. I get it. But the fifth commandment says, honor your mother and father, and your days shall be long upon the earth. So the question is, how do you honor your parents? So everybody's getting all, agitated by that word, honor. Like, but what does honor truly look like? Because I'll tell you this, like, you can't honor everybody's parents the same way, because what gives my father honor probably won't give another father honor. And what gives another mother honor probably isn't the same honor I give my mother. You see what I'm saying? And then also how I disrespect my parents is not the same way same way to disrespect somebody else's parents, because they probably won't take that as disrespect. You see what I'm saying? So like, everybody's parents different. Nobody is the same. So like, going back to, we live by faith and not by sight. So like, how can you say you love God but you can't even love your parents? You can't even love who's in front of you. Like, and it's your parents. It's not something minuscule, just some people upon the earth that has nothing to do with you. Like, no, this is where you came from. So like, that's where it starts, guys. So like, what do you do with your parents? Like, do you hate them? Do you appreciate them? Do you value them? Like, because whatever you do with them says what you're doing with God, right? So let's keep on going, man. Like, I told Terrence, with his statement. Let's go back to it. Like, oh well, first before I go there, man, let's go back with Proverbs 20:20, man. Like, if you curse and you hate your parents, man, if you despise your parents, man, your light will be put out. Your light will be put out. We already talked about this in that video. Your future is based on upon how you treat your parents. And me and Terry did another video on it. It's all about honor. I'll make sure to put that in the description of the video so you guys can watch it later. And it'll be in the added cards and end of the video, right? Because this is when we broke down Proverbs 20:20. I love it so much, man. It's so deep. Like, your lamp resembles your life. Your light is life, right? Because God created life, and what is brighter than life? Like, everything stemmed from Him. So, like, it's light. You're to have a lamp put out, to have your light put out, that means to die. That's what death is. It's pure darkness. To be alive is to be in the light. Be children of light, right? So, like, to have you, and then, oh, it's crazy. It goes so deep. I just thought about this because when you know the Bible like that, it just, when you meditate on scripture, it just comes out and oozes out of you. Like, Jesus said, like, if a person sins, like, they need to pluck out their eyes because the window of your soul is in your eyes. So, and He says to those who, I need to find it, but, like, basically, like, if you walk in darkness, it's because you're blind, right? But if you walk in the light, it's because you can see, and you have spiritual light guiding you, right? So you can see in the midst of the darkness in this world, because this world's filled with darkness, right? So, like, your lamp will be put out in utter darkness. Like, yeah, okay, I forgot why I said that, but you guys see it. Like, yeah, no, that's why I said it. Like, your eyes also is the light in the window of your soul. So, like, if you're not making the right decisions, you're always making mistakes, and you don't even know what your purpose is, and you're so confused about life. You can't make ends meet. Like, and if you feel like you never heard from God, you just feel lost. Like, that just says you're in spiritual darkness. That says, like, God's not guiding you. You're not listening. Like, because God will tell you what to do. Like, He will lead you where you need to go, and not just that. Once you obey Him, He will tell you the next thing to do, but you have to obey Him for Him to tell you the next thing to do, right? So, like, so many people are in utter darkness. So many people are in pitch darkness. So many people are in the deepest of darkness, right? And when you're in darkness, what does that look like? That means you stumble, you fall, you hurt yourself. Like, you can't see in the dark. You stub your toe on, the edge of the bed. You always are putting yourself in situations that you can't get out of, that seems like you can't make ends meet, that seem impossible to get out of. If that's your life, it's because you probably dishonored your parents. You probably have cursed your parents. You probably have insulted your parents. And when you operate like that and you do that, then you're refusing. You're not respectful towards people in authority that God has put in your life. See, this is the Bible. In the book of Titus, in his First Peter and Second Timothy, but especially in the book of Titus that Paul wrote. He said that we need to respect people who are in authority, respect people who God has put over us. So, like, here goes some bars for you. Like, if you hate police officers, if you hate teachers, like, and you're always, like, being rebellious towards people in authority or people who God has put in higher positions than you that you need to listen to, like a manager or supervisor, it's all stemmed from you hating your parents and disrespecting your parents and not listening to your parents. See, when you don't listen to authorities, people who God has put over you to lead you on a path of righteousness, right? Which that's not always the case, but most of the time I would argue, like, that means you don't listen to wisdom. That means you're not willing to take heed to the guidance of people trying to tell you what's best to do in life based on their sufferings and things not working out for them. Because especially with your parents, like, your parents will tell you things that will help you to avoid the pitfalls and the trials and the hurt that they have experienced. That's the role of a parent. So, like, if a child doesn't listen to their parents, obviously they're not going to listen to God, right? But, like, I like what Terry said. Like, he's talking about good parents, right? So good versus bad parents. If you have good parents like me, I've had amazing parents, and honestly, I would argue I probably have the best parents in history. Because look at me, like, I hope I'll become somebody one day, and everybody knows my name and all that stuff. Because then my parents will get the glory for that. Like, and anybody who knows me and gets to know me, like, for example, Terry. Like, one thing I like that he says to me all the time He's the older guy on my YouTube channel, Uplift past Crossroads here, on our ministry. He's the one who he always says, I know your dad is proud of you. I know your dad just is smiling ear to ear when it comes to you, because and that should be the goal of every child, to make their parents happy. Like if you're grew up in a godly family, are you kidding me? And God was there, like you're trying to pay your parents back for the love that they have always shown you. You want to give back, the appreciation and the sacrifices that your parents have always, given to you. Like that's the goal of a godly child, a good child. Like, you see what I'm saying? And that's the scripture verse. Like, I haven't done videos on this yet, but I'm about to. So like, it's Proverbs 15:20. So like I said, Proverbs is a general statement made about life. And from that statement, their observations, and we apply them to our life, we'll be prosperous and successful. Look at Proverbs 15:20. And it relates with Proverbs 10:1. So this is from the NIV. So a wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish man despises his mother. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish son brings grief to his mother. Like, do you bring grief to your mother? Do you bring pain to your father? Like, are you a thorn to your side, to your parents? Because they always got to bail you out of situations. They always got to help you out of a bad relationship. They always got to, after your husband beats you, they got to, tend to your wounds or something. You see what I'm saying? Like, you always put your parents in a situation where they have to serve you, do stuff for you. And you are 45, you're 55, like, and they're 90. You see what I'm saying? Like, dang, like a foolish son, a foolish child, a foolish daughter, like they bring grief to their parents. Like a fool brings sorrow, and not just that, they despise their parents. That says a lot. See, a fool is somebody that doesn't listen. They don't heed to wisdom. Like a fool is somebody who thinks that they know everything, got it all figured out. Like, how many kids sound like that? You see what I'm saying? But what's funny, even adults are kids. They're just bigger, right? So many people, like, you were taught lessons as a child. The Bible even says it'd be different. The Bible didn't say it. It said, train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they get up, so that when they get older, they won't depart from it. So like, so many parents haven't trained up their child like that, but some of them have. Let's just talk about the ones who have. Like, some parents have given their children everything that they got. Like, they led them in the Lord and everything. But their children are just foolish. Like, they despise their parents' teachings. They despise everything their parents have ever taught them. And that is a foolish child, because literally, God has given you your parents. Your parents didn't just come from anywhere. Like, God literally chose your parents for you. And I know some people were born out of wedlock. Some people were born but accidentally. Like, everybody was born for different reasons. You see what I'm saying? But like, God doesn't make mistakes. You're here. So if God don't make mistakes, like, your parents mean something to God. God literally chose your parents to make you to you, so that you could do everything that he called you to do. Because without your parents, you wouldn't be you, and you wouldn't be doing what God has called you to do. And that is a wonderful blessing. So until we can appreciate that, we're foolish. And we're going to bring pain and suffering to our parents. And we're not wise, because a wise son will bring joy to their parents. Because you know why? I titled today's video, dang, I need to change the title. I did not change the title. I titled today's video, you live for God, not your parents. So let me try to write this. I got my son in my hand, so hopefully he don't wake up. I know he's up a little because I've been moving and talking to you guys, but hopefully he doesn't start crying. So, but yeah, guys, you live for God, not your parents, right? So let me go back to what Terry said, because it was a great statement that he made, man. And you guys just need to see this question from social media. Sorry about this, guys. Like, I'm normally way faster than this. I just got my son in my hand. I'm getting used to being a dad. It's so weird. So yeah. All right. So live for God, not your parents. That's today's title for today's video. Then also I was going to title today's video, you don't live for your parents, you live for God. So like, this is all stemmed from this Facebook status that I made. It's also a tweet that I tweeted on my Twitter X page, troubledontlast. Right. I also posted on my LinkedIn page, Sean Christopher Jenkins, all my social media platforms, my Tumblr, Trouble Don't Last #1, and my threads, Trouble Don't Last. All right. But anyways, so your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you. Right. Let me break this down real quick. Like, how they are raised is how they are going to love. So like in a marriage, for example, like you can't get away from where you came from. So like if you grew up in the country, first of all, you're gonna have a country accent. If you grew up in the country, you grew up in Boston, you're gonna have that Boston accent. I can't talk like I'm from Boston or New York, but you guys know it. How the people up north talk. Like you are where you come from. That's just one way you are where you come from. Let's go deeper. Like in a marriage, like for example, the way my wife's parents operated, my wife operates just like them, and vice versa. I operate just like my parents. Like my mom's a neat freak, and also she's passive aggressive, but she doesn't know it. Like nobody ever said that to her before, I don't think. So she has signs around the house saying what she wants done and how she wants it done. So if you look around our duplex, I have signs like, "Please take off your shoes, thank you." Like like my mom has signs like that too, like around her house everywhere. Like and yeah, you guys see what I'm saying. I don't have to go deeper. Like yeah, like we tend to like operate how our parents operate and how we were raised. And I made a statement: how they are raised is how they're gonna love. So like, if you were raised in a single mother home, like it's weird, like because you were raised in a single mother home, so that means like the woman will always operate as a man and a woman, kind of. Because that's what I experienced with my ex. I'm sure it's not like this with every single woman that has been in a single mother home, but that's what I've experienced with most women who grew up without a father. Like, they just operate on survival. They operate as independent women, and like they just, they don't want to depend on a man like that because like their mom didn't do that, right? So you guys see what I'm saying? Like, if you're raised on love, then I would argue if you're raised with both parents, like the game's kind of rigged for you. Like you seen how both roles should work, seeing how a man and a woman should operate. So your actions reflect that, and then we tend to reflect what we see. Monkey see, monkey do. Like for example, I used to dig in my nose as a kid. I digged in my nose, put in my mouth. So I was like 13, and my stomach started hurting, and I was pooping from doing it. So I was like, okay, I can't do that no more. But my little brother used to copy me, and he's 5 years younger than me. So I was like, okay, I can't do that no more because I got younger siblings that are gonna copy me and look up to me. So like your actions reflect a lot of things, right? Actions speak louder than words. So like your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you. That is so deep, guys. Like if your parents don't mean anything to you, you're not going to care about how you hurt them because as a kid like what you do affects them. And actually if you train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they get older they won't depart from it. Like when you have a child, you're going to teach that child. See, this is my son. I'm going to teach my son right from wrong. I'm going to teach them, like, if they don't do what's right, it's going to cost me and cost their mom. So like don't do anything wrong because I got to bail you out and I got stuff to do. Don't put me in a situation that you don't want to put me in if you love me, right? Because if you love me, you're not going to abuse like my time. You're not going to abuse, my love, right? Because you love me, right, son? You love me, son. So like, yeah. So that's what you do if you love your parents. Your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you. Like that statement is so deep. Let me go deeper with it. Like if you love your parents, your actions would say it, not your words. So many people live for their actions. Like let's just go there. If you're in prison, like like you just say you love your mom and everything like that, but like you ain't love her enough to stay out of prison. You ain't love her enough to spend time with her and be with her. Like you can't say you love your wife if you're married and you're in jail. Like like you didn't love them enough to like not be in jail. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, everybody's in jail for different reasons. I know that's being kind of generic, but we're just going there a little bit, right? Your actions will show if somebody means anything to you. So it doesn't matter if your parents, like, if you have both parents or not, like, it actually does, like, because because like if you don't have your parents and they never trained you, they never taught you right from wrong. Like you didn't even have parents. Like you didn't have anybody that loved you like that as a guardian. Like yeah. I think if you look statistically at people, most people who go to prison and stuff like that, like those people, like they didn't have a father. They definitely didn't have a father, right? And if they did, their father probably sucked. Like you see what I'm saying? Like they were not involved in their lives. They didn't train them up. Like so, the most rebellious people, they reflect how much their parents mean to them. Their parents didn't mean anything to them. Like people who literally make mistake after mistake, like they can't give up. Oh yeah, oh that's going too deep. Like talking about addictions and stuff. But I don't want to go there. But like you see what I'm saying? Like guys, like you date and you know what? Yeah, you just do drugs. You keep on going from jail and out of jail. Like, you keep on getting in trouble. Yeah, you guys see what I'm saying. Like, your actions reflect if your parents mean anything to you or not. Because, like, if your parents mean anything to you, like for me, I will not do things that bring my parents shame. I will not do things that bring my mother grief. Because my parents care too much for me. What do I look like making my mama cry? A lot of things can make my mama cry. Let's go back to at the very beginning of this video. I said, like, how do you specifically honor your parents? Because I know for me to honor my parents, that means stay out of trouble. Like, for example, like if I love my parents, and I have to go here because I struggle with it, right? I could possibly, oh, there's too much information, but whatever. I'm too honest. Like I could cheat on my wife. You know what I'm saying? But like if I love my mom and dad, I wouldn't do that to my mom, to my wife, because like that reflects bad on my parents, right? And somebody probably say, "Oh, how did that happen? Like, well, your parents don't have anything to do with that." Yeah, they do. They raised me. Like, if I get in trouble, like let's say if I slept with 250 women, I recorded all the videos, and then all of it got leaked online. Like that would bring shame to my parents. Like, oh my gosh, that would cause my mother grief. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, so they would be so ashamed to go outside because they knew they would hear about, you're the parent of Sean, the pastor who slept with multiple women. It's all recorded and online. Like, that's awful, right? See what I'm saying? Like, this tweet is way deeper than you guys can ever imagine. Like, and it's from me. I didn't get it from anywhere else. I got this from my meditation time, just reflecting on Proverbs 15:20 and Proverbs 10:1. All right. So your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you. Let's go back to Proverbs 15:20 real quick. Like I'm gonna do a whole video series on Proverbs 15:20. It's so deep. Like a wise son brings joy to his father. Like if you're wise, you will do anything it takes to please your father. I do. Like one of the greatest days of my life was when I was ordained an itinerant deacon, and it wasn't because I was ordained itinerant deacon in African Methodist Episcopal Church. I could care less for that. Like I enjoyed seeing my dad cry on the side the whole entire service. It'd be different if it was just for his moment. No, he cried the whole service because he was so proud of me. My dad has never cried at all for me when it comes to anything I've ever accomplished or done. But for some reason, he cried that day for the sacrifices and just me accepting my calling. Every sacrifice I make to be a preacher, like that's why he was crying. And also, I know he was crying because like it's a hard task. Like it's not something I could do by myself, right? It takes God to do it, and like, and I have to live holy. Like it's just so much, like so many reasons why he would cry. But like, I know my dad's proud of me. But like, that's what I live for. I live to please my parents, right? And that's actually another thing I tweeted. Like I did a video on this. Yeah, look, you guys saw it. Like on my playlist on Uplift Past Crossroads, honor your father and mother is one of my favorite playlists on our YouTube channel, Uplift Past Crossroads. You guys gotta check this out. All right, it's gonna be in the description of the video. Just click on the description. All right. So I titled this video, "Your future is based upon how you treat your parents," and I use Proverbs 20:20, as an example of scripture verse to break this down. So I said, your future depends on pleasing your parents on March 3rd, 2025. And this tweet, and it's also a Facebook status, and I posted it on YouTube and stuff like that, right? I tweeted that at 12:31 p.m., right? So your future depends upon pleasing your parents. So like if you want a long life, honor your father and mother. Like if you want God's blessings, honor your father and mother, because how you treat them is how God's going to treat you. And that is a bold statement, right? But it's facts. Like what you're doing on the horizontal shows what's happening and occurring in the vertical. So the vertical is God, your relationship with him, his blessings raining down on you. Like you close off heaven when you deny your parents and neglect your parents. Like that's not the way God wants you to operate. Like there's something to learn and to glean from your parents. If your parents aren't crap, like history can repeat itself. You have the same tendencies, like you have the same habits. You come from your parents. You enjoy yourself. So like if you want to make better decisions than your parents, you need to include them in your life, because like to have a better life, you need to know what they did wrong, what they didn't do, and you need to do better. Like because history repeats itself, right? You are it's a saying, and it's so crazy. I need to do a video on this. It's quote of the day. The sins of the father are heaped upon the son, and even the daughter. Like the sins of the mother are heaped upon the daughter, right? So like what they struggle with, you probably struggle with. Like there's something called generational curses. You need to know so much about your parents that they, if they were good parents, they will tell you like this is what I struggle with, and hopefully I pray you don't struggle with it either. So like they will help you and aid you along the way. You see what I'm saying? Like, or at least tell you what they struggle with and hope for the best for you. See what I'm saying? Like, but a bad parent, like they just won't talk to you, right? But you can see it with their lives. It's evident. See, actions speak louder than words, right? So, yeah, your future depends upon pleasing your parents. Now, when I say that, I'm saying like, making statements like that, people get like riled up because like, why should I please my parents when they don't mean anything to me? I don't mean anything to them. Like they ain't never done nothing for me. Like, see, that's you living in the physical. We live by faith. We don't live by sight. So it doesn't matter what's going on in the physical. We operate in the spiritual. So like we're called to love our neighbor. We're called to do good to those who do evil to us, right? We're called to love our enemies as we love ourselves. You see what I'm saying? Love our neighbor as we love ourselves. Like God says so much about love. So like we are supposed to be operating in a place of love. Why? Because not just because we serve a God of love, because ultimately God is our parent. So even if you got a bad father, even if you got a bad mother, you live for a bigger audience than just your parents. So I tweeted this too. Like you see, I told you guys, I'm gonna hit you guys with all my tweets I'm tweeting because everything all goes together on my social media platforms. I just want to show you guys like how it goes together. So on March 9, 2025 at 9:52 a.m. I tweeted this. You live for a bigger audience than only babe, can you come get him? You live for a bigger audience than only your parents. You're living for God, right? Or unless he's fine. Like, let's see. Because, he is cute. I don't want everybody to see him. So you're living for a bigger audience than only your parents. You're living for God, right? So that's the statement I made to Terry's statement, right? Terry said to my status, let me go back to it. So, I posted on Facebook again, your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you. Terry said, nah, this ain't it. This sounds like somebody who had both parents. Like, yeah, like we got God as a parent. Let's just go there. Like we serve God. We don't serve our parents. Like everything we do is predicated on how good God has been to us, not what everybody else is doing to us on the earth. And this is a testament to me. Like I was trying to figure out what to do with one of my people I got a problem with in board examiners, who's one of the leaders in board examiners in the Kentucky conference. Like I figured now I got the answer from God that how I need to treat this person. Like I need to treat this person with love. I need to treat this person how God treats me with grace and mercy and forgiveness because like I'm operating in God. I ain't operating, based on, what's going on with her and how she did me wrong and stuff like that. How she doesn't care about, being a good leader and she's that big old tyrant that wants to, run over people and don't, not, and she don't want to be held accountable to the actions she has done. She feels like she's too big for that, right? To show God's love because she's in a certain position. But anyways, like I'm not called to, stoop down to her level. I'm called to love her and to treat her, how God has always treated me. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's just with her. She ain't my parents. But obviously with my parents, like, because how long are you gonna have your parents for? If your parents are still in your life, like, and that is a deep question. Like, have you really learned all the lessons you can possibly learn from your parents right now? Because one day they're not gonna be here. And you're gonna wish you asked them certain things. You would have wished you known certain things. So this is the time to do it. The time is of the essence. Like, woo, the time is so short, guys. So like, man, like let me just go back to this statement. So you live for a bigger audience than only your parents. You are living for God. So here goes a few questions for you guys. Like, how far can one truly go if they pull down others around them? How far can one truly go if they spit in the faces of those who care for them? And how much can God bless a person who doesn't appreciate the people around them that God gave them? And let's ask that question again. How far can a man truly go if they don't value and honor and love the people who God himself has placed in their lives? God has placed your parents in your life. God has ordained your parents to be in your life. Right? We live by faith and we don't live by sight. So just because you don't understand that reason doesn't mean you need to, devalue them, not cherish them, hate them. See, that's the problem. You're not living by faith. You're living by sight. You think because their actions suck and Like, they haven't ever been there for you and stuff like that. Like, you're obligated and can just disrespect them at every turn. You can insult them at every turn. I already told you Proverbs 20:20. Like, if you insult your parents, if you talk bad about your parents, if you disrespect your parents, that says everything about you, not them. It says how good God has been to you, which ain't that good because you ain't paying attention to it. So you're a foolish son. You're a foolish daughter, not a wise one. A wise one would open their eyes and see the impossible. Live by faith, not by sight. Right? So why did God put your parents in your life? See, we live for a bigger audience than only our parents. We living for God. Right? Your life is bigger than just your parents. You live for God again. We serve God. We don't serve man. We dang sure don't serve our parents. I mean, but they're your parents. You should. Right? Let me make sure I said everything, man. Like, there's so much with this, man. Like, I probably got to do other videos on it, but should probably end it right now. But yeah, man, like I was trying to say, man, actions tell all, actions say it all. Actions say everything, actions are everything, right? So your actions say how much your parents mean to you. That was the statement basically that I posted. So like I tweeted this on March 10th, 2025. See, all this was recently. See, I went on tangent on social media, man. So I said your actions in private reveal if you really love God, not the words you say in public. Same thing with your parents, man. Like if your parents mean anything to you, man, your actions will reveal this in private, not just what you say in public. But obviously, if you say curse words about your parents and stuff in public, like if you're rebellious towards all the lessons that your parents have told you in private, like what I'm saying, and you're rebellious in public, like, and you're bringing shame to your parents in private, like, and in public, like, you know what I'm saying? What's even worse, like, you reveal what your parents have mean to you. You reveal like your parents ain't taught you nothing, and even if they did taught you stuff, like you just ain't been listening, so you ain't wise. Because you can't tell me your parents, for godly parents and a godly family, you can't tell me your parents ain't taught you anything. Your parents ain't trained you in any type of way. Like, especially for me, man, I'll be spitting in my parents' face if I just, you know, did what I want to do. And I don't like take heed to all the lessons and the stuff that my dad has taught me and my mom has taught me. Like, that'd be the dumbest thing. Like, how much time my parents have put into me, how much time they have invested in me. But even if you got bad parents, man, spend time with God. God is the greatest parent. God is the greatest mother. God is the greatest father. He got you. Spend time with him. So, because it's the same thing applies. Like, let's go back to the whole point of the video, which is this Facebook status, right? Your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you. So, like, if God means anything to you, let's put God in, man. Like, your actions reflect how much God means to you. Your actions reflect if you love God. Because Jesus even said it in John 14:15, if you love me, keep my commandments. Like, don't say you love God if you don't do what he says to do. Jesus even said that. If you don't do what I say to do, don't say you love me. How can you say you love me if you don't do what I say do? You don't. That's like being married to somebody and they say they love you, but like they're never there. They never talk to you. They never spend time with you. They never show love to you the way you want love to be shown to you. They just show up whenever they want to show up. That ain't love. Are you kidding me? And we do that with God. And we do that with our parents. Like, are you kidding me? Like, bro, if you're really about that life, it will show by your actions. Your words don't mean anything. The book of James say that. I think in James 2 or James 4, it says that, be a doer of the word, not just a hearer only. Practice what you preach. Like, your actions to line up with this. It's all action words. If you truly love somebody, like, action will be done continually. You see what I'm saying? So, like, man, like, your actions reflect if you're truly about that life with God. So like that's why the fifth commandment said honor your mother and father and your days shall be long upon the earth, right? If you honor your parents, it shows that you honor God. If you value your parents, it shows that and I mean in spite of everything your parents have done, because let's be honest, parents aren't perfect, they're sinners just like us, so they have made mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes have traumatized us and ruined us and cost us to go down a rabbit hole all of our lives. But if you honored and valued your parents, man, like you would forgive them, like you would move past it, even no matter how hard it is. I forgot what else I was gonna say, but like your actions will reflect something greater, something bigger. Because you're living for a bigger audience than just your parents. And this goes with a photo that I posted a long time ago on my Instagram page, man. Like, and I should have been done shared this, but I'll end the video like this. Like, so I posted this on April 30th in 2020 on my Instagram page, Trouble Don't Last, my other Instagram page, my_the_Bible. But it's just a theater with amazing seats. So it's probably like, it looked like a play theater, like where they do plays. And the seats are maroon. And it said in one seat, it says reserved for God. And it's a bright red, it's covered in bright red, like linen, I guess, right? To make it look separate and different than the rest of the seats. So God knows, like, this seat's reserved. But anyways, even if the whole world isn't there and you're in private and stuff, right? I love this photo so much. Like, you live for an audience of one. That's what the caption says. You live for an audience of one. You live for an audience of one. Like, we're living for God. We ain't living for nobody else. So with every action that we do in life, God is watching. With every action that we do in life, like, God sees what we are doing. And God, you know, are you going to try to please God, or are you going to live for yourself? Like, you know, you want to dishonor your parents. You want to disrespect your parents. You want to repay evil for evil. You know, you want to pay back the hurt that your parents have hurt you with, because hurt people hurt people. You see what I'm saying? That's living for yourself. That's reserving a seat for yourself. Like, that's a foolish way to live. Like, because everybody who burns in hell has lived for themselves. They lived for self. That's the problem. But we living for an audience of one. We live for God, man. So I titled today's video, "Live for God, not your parents." So no matter how your parents suck. Ain't never been there for you. I keep on going, man. You better learn the lesson God wants. You better learn why God has done that, and give me those type of parents instead of good ones. You better figure it out, because apparently you ain't needed it, because you got God. God chose you because you were so strong. You had something else, and I don't know, because I don't got that. Like, I got great parents, so like, I just know from my perspective. And if you're in my position, like, my dad's a pastor, my mom's dad's a pastor. My mom has 7 siblings, majority of them are pastors, and yeah, you guys get it. Like, and I'm a pastor now, so like, yeah, man, like, when it comes to my life, man, I'm living for a bigger audience than just my parents. And my parents are godly parents, man. My parents love the Lord. Like, you see what I'm saying? And they have taught me up and have brought me to the Lord. It was through all it wasn't even through all their teachings. Like, that was the added cherry on top. What mainly drew me to God was their love, like their actions. Their actions spoke louder than their words. That's what drew me to God. Like, it didn't make sense for me how many times my parents were there for me when they should have just given up on me. Like, I was the black sheep in my family. So like, my audience is my parents too. My audience is everybody who has ever made sacrifices for me and done things for me. Like, that's who I want to do things for. Even for my son, he got one of those seats now. So my son's watching now. So I gotta live a certain type of way. I gotta conduct myself a certain type of way. I gotta make sure my actions please and satisfy and are legendary and echo throughout all eternity. Right? You see what I'm saying? So I live for a bigger audience than just, the people that are in my life in the horizontal. Like, yeah, I'm trying to please them, but ultimately I'm trying to please God. I want to hear, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in a few things, so come up higher and receive even more glory, even more rewards that I have in store for you in all eternity in this heaven." Right? So that's what I want God to say to me one day. So I'm living for a bigger audience than just my parents. I live for, you see what I'm saying? I live for God. And so, like, that's how we got to approach this in life, man. So that was today's video, man. Me just breaking down this quote of the day, me breaking down my Facebook status, this tweet that I posted, right? Your actions reflect how much your parents mean to you. So does God mean anything to you? Because if God means anything to you, you would glorify your parents. You won't disrespect your parents. You will do things for your parents, even though they don't do anything for you. You see what I'm saying? You will be there for your parents, even though they weren't there for you. Why? Because God was there for you. God was the greatest parent. God did everything for you, and we live for God. Oh, that's the video. You guys got it. All right. It's too good, right? So you already know the drill, guys. Got the best social media platforms ever. So make sure to this video will be streamed live on Friday at 7 p.m. So I hope you guys enjoy it then. Make sure, and if you enjoyed it, man, please, to really support us, go to our YouTube channel, Upload Past Crossroads, subscribe, and then click the bell so you're notified anytime we upload another video. Then you'll see anytime we go live. We're going to try to give videos every single day from now on. So this is a pre-recorded video. It was recorded on Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. So this is going to be posted on, again, Friday, of this week. I don't know what day that is right now in my head. All right, but anyways, um, if you enjoyed this video, so this is our 548th video. We got way more videos for you. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see a whole lot of playlists. So one of the playlists you can go to get way more of. If you enjoyed it in the video, it's me just breaking down, my tweets or my Facebook statuses or my Instagram posts that I posted, and I just, do a sermon or a Bible study on those videos. So like, I have 100. I have 51 videos or 52 videos, like depending on when you watch this, of me breaking down my Facebook statuses and tweets. So if you want way more of that, check out this playlist, right? If you want way more quotes of the day, check out this playlist on our YouTube channel, Uplift Crossroads. Questions from social media. So this is when I like answer people's comments and stuff like that. I need to title this comments from social media too, because Terrence really gave a comment. So if you enjoyed that and you want to see way more videos on that, so check out this playlist. So look at that, it's 57 videos for this one. And then also honor your mother and father, honor your parents, honor, respect authority. If you want way more of that and learn what God has to say about that, if you struggle with it and you're rebellious towards authorities, check out this playlist on our YouTube channel, Uplift Crossroads. Then also, if you enjoy me breaking down the book Proverbs, got a whole lot of videos for you, man. I think we got 60 videos now. So like, check out this playlist for way more Proverbs. And then also, if you enjoy me breaking down Proverbs 15 and Proverbs 20, check out those playlists as well. All right, but you guys know, man, my son's tired, so I'm gonna log off. But please, if you're watching our YouTube channel, make sure to like the video and comment, man. If you got any video ideas, just send me a DM on my Facebook page, Sean Christopher Jenkins, and I will do a video on the question that you asked, because that's the whole point of questions from social media, that playlist, right? And yeah, man, subscribe to our YouTube channel. So make sure to like this video and share it with anybody you think is going to benefit. And if you like the video, YouTube will recommend more videos from our channel so that you can watch all of them, or watch videos that specifically you might be interested in, because that's what the algorithm does when you like videos. And it will introduce you to other content creators like me who you would enjoy too. So I pray you guys enjoyed this video. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. All right, Zion, you want to say bye to everybody? You want to say bye? You did good today, man. Good job. See ya. This is my son Zion Emmanuel Jenkins, man. Who knows? He'll be preaching one day too, but he'll definitely be taking over this channel. So we'll see what he does with it when it's his time. And all my children. So hopefully I get like 12 disciples. We'll see. Or 6 kids at least. But all right, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Good job, buddy. Did good today, man. You ain't